There it is.
We. Yeah.
See, I'm so nice to boss now, I don't even do the this part right here.
Thank you, too, dog.
Oh, boy, hey, man. I think the people love the.
only when I'm mad, I'm be like,
when you try to destroy your boy Dave.
I stop.
Thank you,
I
stop. I really appreciate you stopping that, bro.
I see it tick. A nerve.
Oh, it did tick the nerve. So, you know, it's like, you ever had a sweet tooth hit that nerve?
Oh my goodness.
That's what that noise sound like to me.
Oh, man.
That cold water on the teeth.
boy. That's deep.
Yes, indeed. It don't matter how bad it get at that point. You can like, look, man, just rip it out. Rip it out.
I gave it some good Novocaine.
Yeah.
Hey, you sounded good, big. Real talk.
Yeah. What you mean?
Like you sound like you upbeat a lot.
Oh, I am upbeat. Okay. I am upbeat because you know why? Because you was looking mad and that made me upbeat.
Come on, dog. Come on, dog. See, you know. You know, I'm gonna do this. You know me, bro.
I know.
I'm big town, dog.
I know.
Big town boy.
That's why I be laughing. That's why I be laughing.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, man. So we got these old OTAs coming, man. It's gonna get juicy starting tomorrow.
It's juicy fruit. It's going down, dog. A lot of hype already coming already. A lot of Kool-Aid already been thrown out there. People drinking purple, red, orange, blue. It's all out there. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big.
I can name the colors. Blue is Jalen Tolbert.
They said they can't hear. They can't hear y'all, but they can hear me.
What? Oh no!
On my end. Audio test. Go do your test, fam. Do your
1,
test.
2, 3. 1,
hello.
2, 3. Cause you know I know we coming through on my end.
Yo, let me know in the chat, man. Let me know if y'all in the chat can hear my boy. Yeah. It sound crazy.
I just went in mine and was asking could they hear me.
Keep tweaking it, OG. I think that's on you, Law.
Yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Just me. They can order hear me.
Yeah, they say they can hear me loud and clear.
Yeah.
All right, let me see if I can build this plane while it's in the air. If not,
I know you got it.
Yep, build it. You know how to do it.
Yep.
You know how to do it.
Yeah. There ain't no pressure. Law go figure that thing out. That's what we.
What about now? Can y'all hear them now?
Bang, 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 bang.
5, 4, 3, 2.
There it is. There it is.
1, 2, 3. My boy Renell in the house. He say, "Let's get it, baby."
Let's get it, man.
Chris, I see
we
you,
good now.
dog.
See, y'all can't stop a tank with no key, baby.
Say, I knew Law was gonna figure it out.
Yoga fire.
I had
Yoga lane.
That's what the Cowboys got to do. The Cowboys got to figure it out. Oh boy, y'all miss all of the fire that Big Game James and Boss Cowboy were talking about there. If that's the case,
I wouldn't know that.
We gonna do it again.
That was you, Law. That was me.
Hey, shout out to D.A. Lee, man.
Rewind.
D.A. Lee, appreciate that
What's up,
topic
D.A.
today, big dog. You sparked that show, Rick, my homie. Appreciate that. All right, so let's get it.
Yeah.
Let's get it. Come on now. Come on. Ah!
One love to the HBOs and the Share Gang. Let's help a brother out. HBO. Shout out to Oxnard Gang too.
Love her. Boss, what's good? What's up, man?
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Tell 'em.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Yeah.
Come on, Chris.
Yeah.
Kinda check us out.
Yeah.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Cole, what's up, big dog?
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Tell 'em.
Need them ones, I need them fives, need them tens, I need that change to the safe, got blues inside.
Come on.
What?
Greens and pinks, it's all the same. I still save and roll my change. Take some losses
we
when
rock
I
them
play.
balls,
Charge
Cole.
it to the game. I'm with A, yeah, I'm with T Black, I'm with Reverend now.
Rule
I'm
the law,
with B,
baby.
yeah, I'm with J, yeah, I'm with Chuck and now. Still the same, not switching sides, now it's about loyalty. You switch sides hustle for the bag, and that's worth more to me. I mix Nike with designer, I experiment. You just rock what's on the shelf, and I'm not feeling it. Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it to the gym. I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel lately.
Subscribe for good luck, baby.
Man, that's I don't care. Y'all can say what y'all want. I'm gonna say it again, and I'm gonna say it to the 28 million. That's the best opening ever. That just get me going, dog. I don't give a heck. That just get that thing get me going, man.
It
that
fit,
thing
dog. It really do, man.
It fit.
That's your ringtone on your phone.
That is yours, boss. You did that. You did that one right there. You did that one right there.
I appreciate it.
You did
run it up
that.
is what we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, we definitely running it up.
So check this out. I want to go and start off the top turnbuckle. All right. So I'm gonna get right into the gossip. Let's get it. So basically, the day after the final word, something broke, and I know you heard a little bit about it, Law. I'm not sure, Big Game James, because we ain't talk about it, but I want to play some stuff.
I heard it.
Okay, I want to play it, and because we never talked about it, so I'm gonna play what Bobby Belt said about CeeDee Lamb. Get y'all thoughts on it, man, and let's try to kind of piece this whole thing together. All right.
Okay.
So let me set it up. All right, give me a second. There it is. Boom. Yep. All right. Boom. So here we go.
How much different is the offense going to be in 2022? Do you have any idea yet?
So I know one of the things that's been discussed, and I think I brought this up to you guys, one of the things that's been discussed is the idea that CeeDee Lamb could be playing on the outside a lot more than he has the first 2 years, which I don't know that totally excites people, because I think a lot of people feel like CeeDee Lamb is best in the slot. And if he's not going to play in the slot, I don't know who they plan on putting there. If it's Tolbert, Gallup, it may be some sort of a rotation thing. But I know that was one of the things they had discussed in free agency with a few players, was the idea that Lamb was going to be playing a lot more outside, but that they were also committed to...
Hold on real quick.
No doubt.
This is very real quick. Moment of silence for the people that was killed in the Texas mass shooting. I just want to give a quick moment of silence.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, back to this.
Kind of bringing back some of the, pre-snap motion stuff, and not just pre-snap motion, but at the snap motion, and getting some of that stuff on there, and some of the fake jet sweeps and things like that. So those are some of the things that I think will look different. It'll obviously look different with Tyler Smith being in there at left guard, and I think the hope is that with a guy like Smith and getting back to getting more power on the interior, that in turn is going to help the run game and make the run game better, and just continue to help out Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, who obviously had a lot of struggles trying to get things going on the ground in the second half of last year. But a commitment to, I think some different looks in terms of personnel and the type of groupings that they put out there is going to be something that we may notice. And then I think something they're going to really try to do is not necessarily, and I know Brian doesn't like this term, but not necessarily change the identity completely, but establish a little bit more toughness on offense and a little bit more bully ball.
So let me pause that for a minute, because we was talking about that prior to the show.
Right.
So what's your thoughts on the Dallas Cowboys and Big Game James, I guess, whoever want to just dive in on that? Just obviously we went for toughness with the draft in this offseason. What's y'all thoughts on that, and what do y'all think that's going to do for us going forward?
Any tough talk right now? Oh, my bad, Big Game James. You go first.
Go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Any tough talk right now is just this. I'm holding in my hand for the podcast viewers paper. Anybody can talk tough, but it's when you put the pads on and get it out there in the field, then we would know. Anybody can be tough in college. So when we get out there and when it's tangible versus intangible, then we would know. But that's just lip service for right now. Now, back to the point of Lamb playing primarily only on the outside. He didn't do that a lot in college, by the way, because people felt that, like, far as his route releases, he can get hit with the jam. Now, if you miss, he can kill you with yak yards or what have you. So what the OU team did is they moved him all over the field like a chess piece. I don't want to isolate my guy CeeDee Lamb on the outside. I like to give CeeDee Lamb two-way goals. And as a primary outside wide receiver, when he get back, that position to me belongs to Michael Gallup. Now, I've seen James Washington at 5'11", 215 pounds play on the outside, but he's also a guy that you can kick inside. So I don't want the Cowboys to relegate and only put a player at those spots. I want them to move them all around like chess pieces. So do we have an outside receiver primarily and only? That will be Noah Brown. And I don't want Noah Brown to be the starter on this team for right now. I want this roster to look like this for the week one. CeeDee Lamb, Jalen Tolbert, and James Washington. That's my order right there. I got to say Washington, you know. But what's y'all thoughts?
Well, I mean, my opinion, I'm kind of flown off you with that. Look, CeeDee Lamb is better when you can move him all around. He's just not that player that you want to put him on the outside. He was a dynamic player at Oklahoma. That's why you liked him, because you can put him in all three phases. You can move this kid around. When he first got drafted, the first thing they said was they want to throw him in the slot. But here's the thing, fellas. I think what it is people are saying, oh, well, CeeDee Lamb was just better in the slot and he's better outside. I don't really say that. He had 59% more time. He was in the wideout position 59% more this year. He was in the slot 39%. Some of his biggest games, they weren't in the slot. They was when they were on the outside. So from their thinking, they're probably going to say, yeah, you're sliding over to Amari Cooper. But in my opinion, if you're trying to have Kellen Moore step his game up and continue to grow as a play caller, you need to use your weapons and not just pigeonhole them in one spot. You need to be creative and be able to move and see mismatches. And they did it with Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper, when he was on the outside, you could slide him on the inside because you could look at the matchups. And that's what you need to do with CeeDee Lamb to get the best out of him.
And Coop never played that X on Big Game. He never played that X while he was here.
He played.
Well, I mean,
they kind of moved him, you know. But go ahead, boss.
Well, my thoughts on the matter is, I just hope they're not forcing it, right?
There you go. Ooh.
Right. So it's one of those things. CeeDee Lamb, and we go keep going on this audio because it gets worse. But just let everybody know it gets worse. It gets worse, dog. So, but you know, I don't want front office to have their egos involved. I don't want this to be a demonstration of that we was right about letting go of Amari Cooper. So we're gonna try to force CeeDee Lamb into situations that he's not ideal. I do agree with both of you guys, especially what you said, Law, about him being a real good two-way player. I love that thought. I think he's very scary when he has space. He's a space player to me, right? I think when you put him on the outside, that does give advantages to me, longer corners, because we also know he's not a real burner. You know, he's not a real burner. He's more of a football player. So I think his football instincts fit more in a slot, you know, and I think the way that he moves, it's an eye thing to me, right? So I definitely agree with both of y'all on what y'all saying on CeeDee Lamb, and I agree with your three. I'm also very bullish on Tolbert. We go talk about that, but I'm extremely bullish on Bullish. Like, I'm saying I'm saying right now, I think Tolbert by year 2 is gonna be pushing CeeDee Lamb for the number 1.
Ooh,
I'm saying, and I'm gonna say this: if they build his confidence early and feed him the ball, he might be doing that by the end of year 1. Kind of similar to what we saw with Odell Beckham when he first got here with what was that receiver? He used to do the cha-cha. I can't remember.
Cruz.
Yeah,
Victor Cruz.
So Cruz was the number 1, but by the end of year 1, it was who? Cruz who? Right?
Yeah.
Because And I see that type of game in Tolbert. I think he got that type of, if you build his confidence and he get going, So I'm extremely bullish on that.
Well, we'll see about that. I like Tolbert. Like I liked him, prior to the draft. I've seen him at the Senior Bowl. He's silky. You watch his tape. He's silky smooth, man. He's got good release, good hands, good after the catch. He can get past you. He can play in a lot of phases of the game, and once again, he's versatile. I think you can move him around. I'm gonna hold off a little bit on being the number one guy. I think he's a real strong complementary number two. We need to see. But bouncing off you, boss, what you're saying, I think the Cowboys are going to build his confidence early because I think they're going to go to him often to kind of let him know we believe in you. We want to see you do good, so we're going to kind of throw these balls your way. Yep. So I think he is going to get a lot of tick in that aspect, especially because I don't feel like Gallup is going to be around a while because when I was just listening to them talking about Jabril Cox, they're still talking about bringing him along slowly, and he's still rehabbing the knee. So when we talk about that, Jabril Cox tore his knee up in what week? I mean, that was like week 5, 8? Week 6.
Yeah.
Right. You feel me? So he tore his knee up then, and they're still talking about him rehabbing and bringing him along slowly. And this dude tore his knee up in January and didn't hit his surgery till February. So for us to really be thinking Michael Gallup is going to be playing, he's going to miss a lot of significant time. Yes. So that's why I had made the tweet where I didn't mean to cut you off, boss, but that's why I had made the tweet about Dak and James Washington. I know they're going to bring along Tolbert, but he's got to get some feedback with some James Washington because he was kind of maybe buried on the bench. The Cowboys liked him in the draft. Those two guys are going to have to be very important because Michael Gallup is going to be out for some significant time.
No doubt. Man, you spitting at us, man. I should have had an umbrella today. Over here. But we got to understand too. Hey, I thank you, man, putting all of that good stuff out there. But before we anoint Jalen Tolbert, he did have some concentration drops at South Alabama, he's not going up against that levels of competition. So and also off of his release, I didn't really see anybody press or jam him. Oh, excuse me. Guess who else had that same issue? James Washington. So right now, all of our wide receivers, they got to figure out a way to get off the LOS. And on top of that, they are called upon the biggest role ever. Every one of them. James Washington, his highest catch total, if my memory serves me correct, is like 44 catches out of a year, right? So that is a cause for pause. So now when we start talking about, hey, CeeDee Lamb, this is the plate that you got to eat. It's a lot of food on the table now. That's a big situation for him. And is he ready to do such? Now, when you look at Jalen Tolbert, as my guy put the film out there, you look, they played him all for what have you. And on top of that, go ahead, talk to me.
I'm going to just show you where he was impressed on this when you get a chance. Because I know you want to see that because you talked about wanting to see him impress.
Right.
At the end, you're going to see him miss some make some great plays. But go ahead as you break it down.
Yeah. So with that being said, Cowboy Nation, look, I need to see Jalen Tolbert, like you said, get comfortable, get used to Dak Prescott throwing him the 50-50 balls or what have you. And on top of that, going up against quality competition. So it should be in OTAs when they really get it at each other. I really want to see Trayvon Diggs. Trayvon Diggs said he wanted to get better as a cornerback and be that lockdown guy, right? So we want to see, can this really happen against quality DBs or what have you? So I can't wait, but I'm not saying that Jalen Tolbert will be trash or anything, Cowboy Nation, but what I'm saying is that it's a lot of food on the table.
Well, see, you know what, Law? The thing that frustrates me about this, and I know it doesn't matter now because it's over and it's done with, but I think this was a situation where you really dropped the ball, in my opinion, and you could have got a Jarvis Landry. The New Orleans Saints signed this dude for a $3 million base salary with incentives. So when you're thinking about how they signed him and how they brought him in the fold, when we're talking about Michael Gallup being out, right, and you just said what you said about James Washington, he hasn't – we don't want to say a bust, but he hasn't lived up to the expectations of how high he was drafted, correct? So he hasn't lived up to that. So if you could have had a CeeDee Lamb and you could have had a Jarvis Landry already out there on the outside, then you're not concerned about a James Washington. Anything you get from him is good because you ain't pay a lot of money anyway. Then you can bring the Tolbert along any way you want. You get what I'm saying? Because you got a bona fide dog. Then you can figure it out when Michael Gallup gets back. You can figure it out because you know you're not going to keep Jarvis Landry forever anyway. But if you're trying to really get this offense, you're putting a lot of trust. You're putting a lot of trust. And I feel, boss, the talent is there with Jalen Tolbert. That's a lot of trust right here on these second guys with Michael Gallup not being out. And I hope what they're talking about, what they feel in James Washington, I hope he steps up because he said, hey, I didn't get the opportunities. There was a crowded room over there. Well, here's your opportunities, dog. You better take a hold of them.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man. See, this is one of those situations. I was taught when I was in school in a program called the Excellence in Selling program that you under promise and you overperform. So Big Game James was making a hellified point that sadly we all knew. We knew that timetable on what they were saying on Michael Gallup was way too optimistic. To have your surgery in February, but then be making a promise or insinuating that he could be back by the start of the season was fool's gold.
Right.
And that's what kind of gives that uncomfortable and untasteful Kool-Aid. You know, it's that Kool-Aid that been sitting for a little while. And so now we getting ready to play. Yeah, and we getting ready to play. And obviously we hearing rumors of Jalen Tolbert, right? And it's a lot of buzz. And it make you trust it but not trust it. Because how much of it is marketing, trying to sell you hope and optimism, and how much is it really that he's making the flash plays? I want to continue.
We about to find out.
Yeah, we finna find out. But I am high on him, though. I am high on him. As I look at
I like him too.
See, when I look at his film, and you talked about him on press, it's a couple of plays here. You go see him make some real. Obviously, that one-hander was bananas. That's bananas, obviously, and he did it effortless. And you right on them concentration drops, like you broke him down accurately. I saw that also with my own eyes. I've seen that out of him. But I want to show a couple of, like this one right here, where you see him with the strong hands versus aggressive press. This is what you said you want to see. Watch it, where he's gonna get jammed up real tough, but make a good tough catch. He getting held in everything. See, that's quality strong hands, and I know you said that's what you want to see against tougher competition, and you right on that. We want to see that against league competition, but I'm happy to see him making plays to where he's being held and showing those instincts with the tough hands. Now, this play right here is another play where you can see the tough catch, also on press, also being held, telling me that he should be able to make the transition in the NFL, because he's going to get held again, but he going to turn this one into a touchdown. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
and one thing I wish,
look at that speed.
One thing I wish,
that getaway.
I
wish
crazy.
they play defense like that on us, man. Now they don't play that.
I like
style
that
of
getaway.
Yeah,
that's what impressed me.
They dropped,
his yards after catch.
More DBs.
Yeah, I'm excited about that yard after catch, man. I am too.
I like that. Yeah.
And he averaged 18 yards a catch his last year. So that's huge. I mean, 18 yards a catch, and I mean, dude had like 80-something catches for 1,400 yards. So that's explosive. And I believe he had like 9 TDs. So what does that tell you? He gets in the end zone. He can get behind that defense. So, yeah. And you know what else it looks like? I mean, the dude is 6'1",
how strong
right?
he is. Watch this real quick.
He
I didn't mean to cut you off. Watch this.
No, you good.
Watch
but
this.
he looks like 6'3". Get off me. And he gonna get off me. And he should have got the touchdown right here, but he just dove out of bounds just at the last second. But he looks like, when you see him from afar, He's measured at 6'1", but he looks bigger than that. I don't know about y'all, but he looks like a 6'3" type player. You feel what I'm saying?
He does.
I'm excited about the kid. I love the getaway, and let's just hope that he does take that step. You know what I mean? And doesn't have the rookie blues, and he comes out blazing, because we saw CeeDee Lamb, right? Mm-hmm. We saw when CeeDee Lamb came out how he was blazing, and remember, Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb were clicking the first 5 weeks before Dak Prescott got hurt. CeeDee Lamb was his top target, and he was getting all those top receptions before Dak Prescott hurt in his first year. So let's hope that same thing maybe can happen for Jalen Tolbert.
Hey, I want to continue the interview real quick, and then we can get into some Law and Big got some good stuff on their Twitter we gonna go over. But check this out.
Hey, Bobby, is this kind of one of those make or break years for CeeDee Lamb, you think? When you start to talk about contracts and stuff?
I do, yeah, because, I mean, when you're talking about the fifth-year option, look, I think that I believe their thought process there inside the building right now when it comes to CeeDee Lamb, when they're looking at him and evaluating him, they believe he's going to be able to take the next step and that he'll be able to step in and be the true number one. But I think if you were to ask people like an honest moment away from, the cameras and off the record and just said, is CeeDee Lamb's ceiling now, or his potential, is it as high as you believed it was the day you drafted him? I think unanimously they would tell you no.
Ooh-wee.
And see, listen to how he said that. He
said unanimously, boss.
Right. Unanimously,
He said unanimously.
Right.
He didn't say one person. He
said unanimous. And he been talking about CeeDee Lamb in that building. Period. Yep. Especially when you say unanimous.
You know what I think, boss?
Yo.
This is what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if y'all feel this too. Mm-hmm. Okay. But when Dallas drafted CeeDee Lamb, right? Remember how we were hyped, right? And we was geeked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you watched him, you like, CeeDee nice. Mm-hmm. And then you continue to watch him. He nice. But when you look at, is he going to be super nice? I think that's where they're trying to come from. Like, we think he good, but is he nice?
Right.
Like, okay. 88 nice.
I see what you're saying,
you feel
dog.
me?
Yes. Okay.
You feel what I'm saying, boss?
Yes. I totally get it, too.
Let me ask both of y'all.
I get it.
Though.
You said it both of y'all. It's perfectly said. Is he nice? Or is he 88 nice?
Right.
I get it, dog.
Nice. You feel
Put
me?
it like this. How long did it take you to know that the previous 88 was nice?
3 years.
You knew he was nice.
You knew it.
It took Dez 3 years.
You didn't have no questions with it.
You knew at the last 88 was nice.
Yeah.
So when he had his first 1,000 yards, when he had his first 1,000 yards,
year 3.
I know he got injured.
Year 3.
It don't matter.
Get out of my head.
Matter, Long.
Get out of my head. Get out of my head.
I'm with you, Long. I'm with you.
Get out of my head.
No. Say,
get out of my head.
I'm on the same team with you, Long. Hey, I'm running the relay with you, dog. I feel you. Talking. Finish it. Hold on real quick. Hold on, Long.
Finish him.
Go ahead, Long. Finish him.
In his third year, 88 cemented and planted himself as a legendary 88 because he had 92 receptions, 1,382 yards, but the biggest thing, he had 12 tubs. What did I predict? What I predict with my boy? My son now.
My son, don't you start that, Long. Don't you do it.
CeeDee
Are we
Lamb,
doing that? What's going on?
They gave him the 88. So God,
okay, but you know what? Hey, I'm sorry. Don't do that, Long. I'm gonna have to jump in. I'm gonna have to jump in there. I'm gonna have to jump in there because when you talking about Dez in his third year, like I know, his first year. When he returned some of them punts, you're like, okay.
Right.
You knew it and you saw it.
Yeah.
Now, CeeDee nice. Oh. But everybody like in that building, like, he nice. But we don't know if he that big money, crazy, big
dog.
You get what I'm saying? Because numbers.
But that
Law,
rookie
don't
year,
do that.
That catch against the Vikings. That catch against the Vikings. Was that nice?
Law, don't go by numbers. Don't just go by numbers, boss.
Hold on. What do we have here? Do we have what I think we have? Do we have us a? Okay, go. Let's go.
I'm saying. Listen.
I'm listening.
I like CD. He a dog. But I need to see it this year too. I'm gonna keep it real.
Whoa.
I'm just keeping it real.
Whoa.
I need to see all of it. That's me. I know people gonna yell at me. People gonna say you crazy big game. But I need to see it. They gave you the 88. I need to see you take that next step where it's nasty. Because that last 88,
what?
It didn't matter that third year, though. It didn't matter that third year if he got over the 92. You knew it.
It's Mr. Nasty guy.
That Joker. I just not. Oh, now I got the stats in front of me. Now I got the stats. Okay. I got Dez Bryant stats right now. He had 100. I'm gonna say like my grandfather say. He had 137 targets.
Oh,
hear me out.
Okay.
92 receptions, 1,382 receiving yards, 12 tubs. But here. Do you think that he was perfect that year? Oh, no. He had 11 drops, baby. He still had to work on some things. So what I'm trying to say here, Cowboy Nation, all I want
is CD Lamb time.
Is it achievable?
Is CD Lamb achievable? Is Dez Bryant?
92. Look, all I'm saying,
I ain't asking you that.
If you give CD Lamb, go ahead.
Is CD Lamb as talented as Dez Bryant? Yes or no?
No.
Say it, Law. Yeah,
not yet.
Don't
not
pay me
yet.
in the corner. Don't pay me in the corner.
I'll put you in the corner. Is he as talented as Dez Bryant?
Give him 137 targets and we'll find out.
Okay.
Hey, with 137 targets.
Now
that's what Dez had. He had 137 targets.
Yeah, I'm looking at Dez right here. They.
How many drops you see on that screen? I'm using another stat indicator.
Oh, I'm not using that. I'm just using Pro Football Reference. So
okay, good.
I don't see the drops on that one.
They ain't gonna show the drop ratio. You got to go to Focus or what have you. But I would tell you guys.
The interesting thing is this. This is interesting though.
Is it achievable? That's all I want to know.
No. Law, I'm finna help your case, dog. Law, I got you on this case, dog. Law, I got you, man. You might win this one.
Uh-oh. Wait a minute.
All right, this the deal, dog. So CD Lamb, this is Dez. Dez had 103 targets, right? And about 928 yards, right? So Lamb had 120 targets?
Last year? Let me pull it. I'm gonna have to pull up his.
Yeah. Ooh, because by
you talking about year two? Let me see.
Yeah, year two. I got CD Lamb right here.
Put CD Lamb.
Boy, targets on here. All right, let me.
You gotta go to.
I got it right here.
It says here 116 targets.
Okay, this one is saying he had 120. So Dez had 103. CD Lamb had 120, but he had 1,100 yards. So he had way more yards in year two than Dez had in year two, which is a good sign. That's why I've been telling people he trending in the right direction. Like, especially if you compare him to DeAndre Hopkins, which I think is a better comp.
Ooh, better comp, yeah.
That's a better comp to his style. You know what I mean?
Right, because he's not the fastest guy.
Right. Both of them was 4.5 guys. Both of them are two-way type players. I would say Hopkins had much better hands.
Right. But you know what? But you know what? Back to this point, Lamb is the second skinniest guy, the way that 88. He's more of like Drew Pearson because Michael Irvin and Dez were considered big boys when at 88.
Physical. Big
physical guys. And if you want to throw in the other Bryant, who he was nice though. He just didn't
Antonio Bryant was nice. He did, yeah.
He was
but
nice.
I mean, the DeAndre Hopkins comp is all the way to the body type. I mean, he built like DeAndre. They both slim and long. That's what they are. Yep. That's why I just feel like, in my opinion, like Dez wasn't the fastest when he came out. He didn't test fast,
but he was explosive.
Fast. He was explosive and he played fast. He played angry. You know what I'm saying? I think that's the difference. When I see he played angry, he played aggressive, he played like an animal, dog. And that's why I'm like, I need to see CD do that. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's why I feel like CD Lamb lost his concentration. When you see in his plays toward the end of the year, when he wasn't getting the ball a little bit, he wasn't going hard on the routes. He was sulking a little bit. You know, those things were happening toward the end of the year with him. And he still got to polish his route running, folks. He still got to get better with his route running. Because, like you said, now it's all going to be on him. And Michael Gallup is not going to be there. Do you think they fearing James Washington? And no matter what we saying about Jalen Tolbert, do you think they fearing him right now? They're going to put all that smoke on CD. So, yes, we got to see. And I ain't hating on CD. I like him a lot. But a lot of smoke is going to be on him now, and he's got to continue to take the next step.
Facts.
And when you talking about routes, I believe you talking about the same thing I'm thinking. Is more so on the top of his routes. He got to get more. Look, out of the 10 interceptions that Dak Prescott threw, 6 of them was in the direction of CD Lamb. And that's more. Look, you can say Dak kind of trying to throw it to the man on the moon, but hey, man, if it touch your fingers, man, you got to pull that one down. And some of those balls, man. Now CD did go and grab some of them. I got to put him to that one. He did that Patriots game. If you look at that tape and you see how he pulled that one out of the sky, that only Moses and God was looking at that ball and had a chance to catch it. And he climbed that ladder and said, "Come on, let me get this ball." I said, "CD, how you was able to catch it?" But he do have to work on some things like that. But go ahead to y'all point.
Well, I'm bullish on CD Lamb. I'm bullish.
Okay.
I'm very bullish on him. I'm betting on the year 3. You know what I'm saying? I'm betting on the year 3, which we've seen with all these guys. If you look at DeAndre Hopkins, if you look at Dez Bryant, if you look at most of these receivers truly, especially when they come in behind another existing number 1, they usually hit their full stride by year 3.
What year D-Hop was drafted, so I can look up his?
Oh, I got it. I got all that right here.
Oh, you got it pulled up already?
Yeah, it's right here, bro. This D-Hop.
Hey, so
you mean make it bigger?
I'm gonna pull it up over here.
Right. So I was just about to say with CD Lamb. Dang, I just lost my thought. Oh,
my bad.
Go ahead. It'll come back. No, it'll come.
Well, I say this about CD Lamb and the other reasons why I'm bullish on him. I think it is in him. I think he is a dog. I think he wants it. Like, I think he has the work ethic. Like, Big Game James, you ain't never been no bopper. I ain't never know you ever to be no bopper. But when you came out of training camp, man, you was gassed up on CD Lamb. And you was only gassed because of what you saw. Because you ain't that type of dude that's going to jump on nobody's balls. You see what I'm saying? And you saw the work ethic. You saw the playmaking. None of us could talk you off of CD Lamb last year, dog. That's what started the whole
Hey, I love being a Cowboy. And you're right.
That started the game change.
Game change.
Let's have some fun. Let's have a good time.
The whole conversation about game change started from CD Lamb. So I feel real good about it. It's only because I'm big about history repeating itself. You know what I'm saying?
Ooh, but that dog boy, y'all go crazy, man. If I'm looking at D-Hop third year, man, I said, God.
Yeah, I got it up.
That's my prediction. That's literally toe to toe to what I predicted.
Let me make it more legible real quick for the fans.
I said,
I can see that too.
Yeah, 192 targets his third year?
Yeah.
So let me ask you this, boss. Let me ask you this, boss-in-law.
Yo,
I made the tweet. Dak hasn't had a double-digit receiver in touchdowns in his whole career. This is the year for CD Lamb. I'm asking both of y'all.
I can see it being the year for CD Lamb, mainly because I can see the Joneses trying to force it. And dictating where the ball is going. I think they really get a thing out of saying I was right. You see what I'm saying? So I think this might be the year to where they aggressively target him. Now, to your point, Law, looking at Hopkins had 192 freaking targets, dog.
Wow.
192.
Who was his quarterback in 2015?
Man,
gosh, dog.
Osweiler, bro.
No,
so he had
Osweiler. Gosh.
Savage.
I think that was Osweiler, bro.
Him and he had all kind of weird.
Yeah, he had bad quarterbacks. He had bad quarterbacks. I remember that. Yeah, so they targeted the hell out of him. Them targets went all the way up to heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that's crazy. He was averaging like damn near 130 targets a year or more.
Only it says only 5 drops. That's crazy.
See, yeah. And see, another thing, that's also the year Andre Johnson left. Who left us?
Boy, you connecting the dots.
That's
now,
a good point.
I'm telling you the truth.
That's a good point
I really
right there,
did
boss.
research this when I could. I did a show about this. That's why I already own it. You know what I mean?
Oh wow!
I ain't really like.
I'm gonna check that show out, man. I gotta check that show out.
I went deep into it, man. Just kind of showing the history of it, and transitioning from a number 2 to the number 1.
You went like this into it.
I did. So, but anyway, so that's why I'm bullish on him, though. I'm bullish. I'm betting on him. If he was the stock market, bet. I'm in. You know what I'm saying?
No,
I think that boy stock will go up, bro.
I like I said, man, I like CeeDee Lamb a lot, but we need to still continue to see him grow, and he needs to take that next step. I feel like in my heart he can, but to what level I need to see that. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like in my heart, but to what level I just need to see it, because I knew when I saw Dez, I knew it was coming. You understand what I'm saying? Like you knew this dude was about to explode and go ridiculous.
Yeah, facts. That's facts.
You were just waiting for him to explode.
Yeah, you knew it.
And
like you
knew it was coming.
Yeah.
You watched like, oh man, I can't wait. Yep. So I think that he's just got to prove those and here's the thing. He's got to prove it not to us, and this is what I was talking about on a show about Jalen Hurts having a different kind of pressure when we was talking about what was on the Philly podcast, and Lord Bruns was like, oh, he's been dealing with pressure. No, it's different pressure.
It is.
You're always going to deal with pressure from fans, right? You're always going to deal with that pressure. That's normal. But it's more pressure when the building, inside the building is giving you the pressure, because that's your employer. Your employer is doubting you, because they are saying with Jalen Hurts, we got 2 first-rounders next year, and if you don't do it, you're probably gone. You get what I'm saying? That's hella pressure. And CeeDee Lamb, they're saying in the building, we unanimously don't think you were what we thought you were when you drafted him. You got to show us. So that's pressure.
That is pressure.
So let me ask you this, though, Big Game. I know you want to play the rest of that audio.
No.
All I want to know is this, Big Game. Is it achievable to match what Dez did his 3rd year? Is it achievable?
It's definitely achievable.
Let me go look at this
because I don't know about them touchdowns though. I ain't gonna say that about them touchdowns, because I think that's gonna be 12 tubs. I don't know about that. Because Dak likes to spread that ball around. You feel me? He likes to spread that ball around. And you know how the Kellen Moore and them, they get goofy in that red zone. You get what I'm saying? He do goofy play calling. So it's just hard for me to see him getting those 12 touchdowns or double digits. I see it's kind of hard for him to get that. But the targets and the numbers, I definitely think he can get a 90-catch season, especially with a Michael Gallup out. But like I said, he hasn't seen these type of defenses that are going to be geared to him. So that's the challenge I want CeeDee Lamb. I want to see him take. You understand where I'm coming from, Boston Law?
Yeah,
I want to see him grab hold of that, because they are going to attack you like no other now, because you had a bulletproof with Amari Cooper, dog. Boss told me that one.
Yo.
Say, okay, so here we go. Back to the drama. Here we go. All right.
That they just don't quite think he's the guy that they picked. I think they still think very highly of him and think that he can be a number 1 in this league, but I think they have been a little disappointed with what they've seen, and that he doesn't have that alpha energy, it feels like, to just go out there and take over a game. We've just seen it very infrequently at this point, and even though I know that was a complaint.
Let me rewind that.
Wow, rewind
alpha
that.
Energy.
All of that man,
alpha
Beta. Beta Lamb.
They said they don't.
Beta Lamb. Oh, my
man.
gosh, man.
Dog.
He got to reclaim his name now.
Say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna play it, bro.
Beta. They said alpha energy.
Alpha.
He don't have it. He don't have it. So that means he gonna be
He
beta.
don't have it.
It gets worse, y'all. Believe it or not,
Wow.
it gets
Oh
worse.
my God.
It
Wow.
gets worse. Listen.
Don't
check this out.
castrate the man. Go
Here we
ahead.
go. Just check it out.
I have been a little disappointed with what they've seen, and you know that he doesn't have that alpha energy. It feels like to just go out there and take over a game. We've just seen it very infrequently at this point. And even though I know that was a complaint a lot of people had about Amari Cooper, was that he would disappear, come and go, things like that. There were several moments where he just took over games, and I don't think we've seen that from CD yet. And I think that's what they're waiting on. So it's going to be a big year to see that type of production out of him and that type of ability out of him. And if they don't get it, then, you know, I mean, I don't know that the fifth-year option is necessarily going to be in question, but I think his long-term security here might. And they might say, well, look, let's just, you know, repopulate with the draft, go ahead, exercise that fifth-year option, keep him around. But, like, this isn't the guy that we thought he was. So, yeah, I think it's definitely a big year for him and a big year for everybody on offense. Ezekiel Elliott's future, Dak Prescott, the coaching staff, I mean, across the board, Kellen Moore, Mike McCarthy, Joe Philbin, all these guys, there's a ton of pressure on everybody on the offense, I think.
Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna talk about this in so many degrees, man.
Yeah, I mean, we can blow by it, or we can kick our feet up and keep talking.
No,
because
they said.
But hold on,
can I tell y'all where it's worse, dog? And then big. We'll come back to Zeke.
We'll go back to Zeke.
I ain't even trying to talk about Zeke. I want to stay on this Lamb thing.
Okay, let's go.
But
This is why it's worse to me, dog.
It's disrespect to Lamb, though, because if you go back and watch that Patriots tape, look,
That's why
he had a lot of
dog. It's in the air.
He had a lot of alpha energy. He had a
in
lot
the
of alpha
air.
energy in that Patriots game.
It's in the air, though. That's the problem, though. It's in the air.
Yeah.
You can say that,
because I know
but
Bobby.
If there's,
you know Bobby. Bobby
too.
won't be making up bullshit. He making up bullshit.
It up, dog.
He do not lie about his information. That's one thing. Bobby
Unanimous.
Unanimous. He said unanimously. They feel like that in the building. Unanimously. And here's the thing. And that's why I go back to the Dez thing. I'm not saying nothing about CD, but that's what when you talked about alpha energy, did Dez have that?
Man, hold on. See, big. I gotta take over. I got to. This is where I gotta talk right here, dog.
Leave it alone.
No, you're right. No, you're right. But this is the problem. This is why I say it's worse. And listen, when I heard this interview, you know who the first person I thought about, bro? You know who the first person I thought about, bro?
Yoga fire. Yoga
James.
claim.
Big Game James. Yeah.
He was the very first. When I heard this interview, I really wanted to call you and say, I'm sorry. I want to call you and say, bro, I was trying to force you to drink Kool-Aid. And this is the type of dysfunction that you was talking about. This is exactly it. Because think about it. Dez, as you mentioned, was he an alpha? Absolutely. But was he too alpha for us? Yes.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Right? So then you get Cooper, right? Who I would call a silent assassin.
Yeah.
And then they would say,
call
but he's not alpha enough. So you get rid of him.
Right.
Then you get rid of him, and then you say, but he was more alpha than CD Lamb. What the say, man, what are y'all doing, dog? Like,
and y'all saying it in the air, boss. And they
say, I love being a Cowboy.
My bad. I hit the wrong button. Go ahead.
No, it's just like they put the thing that this is why it's the dysfunction, boss.
Dog.
Oh my God!
You castrate your coach. I love Sean Payton. I love Dan Quinn. I love. You know what I'm saying? Y'all castrate y'all players. Y'all sit there and say, "We love this player. We want to pay this player." Then y'all totally disrespect him and dog him and trash him. But then y'all still say, no, you don't. Like, y'all play this evil game, and this is why there's this dysfunction. You talking about how much you love Lamb, and then you call out and basically say he a beta. You said unanimously
Beta Lamb.
He don't have alpha energy. He can't take over games. This is what y'all saying. He can't take over games like we want. We don't think he's the guy that we thought he was when we drafted him. So this is the year we got to see if he's the dude. Because if he ain't the dude this year, we moving on. That's what they said.
And all of this is over Kelly boy. Oh, I missed the super chat. I'm missing these.
And they didn't say nothing. And, hey, boss. And you know when he said, "Oh, the things on Kellen," I ain't heard them disrespecting Kellen in the media at no daggone time.
Right.
So when I hear that, I don't believe that part because y'all ain't got at Kellen at no time.
At no time.
At no time. Nobody play calling.
He ain't nobody got at him. But they got at everybody else. They got at him.
Man, the final word. God no. That boy got me pushing every button that I got.
I got you.
Darkness is your ally.
Darkness is your ally, dog.
Darkness is your ally.
Oh man, this I'm through, man. I'm ready to rip my headset off, man, and just go take me a nap, man. God dog.
Now, boss-in-law, and I'm about to be
law
messy.
Boss.
It's only gonna be a minute. Boss.
Law boss.
Hey, I'm about to be messy for 1 minute, and then we can jump away from it.
All right.
But he mentioned Dak Prescott, and that's why I try to tell you about Stephen Jones. I told you, he put a ticker on Dak. I'm telling you, Stephen Jones put a ticker on him, and the clock is ticking on him now, dog. The clock is ticking. And I'm telling you, Stephen Jones, when they already start to doing that restructuring and all that stuff, dog, he already talking about getting the moves together, and you know he like it cheap, and he gonna keep it cheap. And you know what? That's what he's saying with Lamb. Oh, you ain't the guy? I ain't going to pay you. I'm going to just draft somebody else. That's their thinking. You ain't the guy? We're just going to draft somebody else and get him cheap. And then we're going to see if that works out. And that's why it's dysfunction, fellas.
Mm-hmm. I really did want to apologize to you, dog. Y'all better hear me. I'm dead serious, bro.
Now, to your Dak Prescott alpha mentality or alpha energy, I do agree. I've seen Troy Aikman run down the field and grab his offensive lineman by the helmet and snatch him and look in his eyes and say, "Hey, you do it this way. I told you to do it that way." He did everybody but the playmaker now. He didn't do playmaker like that. But I've seen Troy do that. Mm-hmm. I actually seen Tony Romo get all into Dez, but he never did T.O. But it takes a certain type of quarterback, right? Mentality, mindset, or what have you, to have that mentality. And I just sometimes don't see that. If there's a flaw in Dak Prescott's game, maybe he chew out players off camera, what have you. But it's time to have the PC stuff and move it to the side, right? Because we don't want to hear everything is politically correct. Now, he do demand a few things when he lead the huddle, because we do hear sounds of the sideline. We do hear him pump up his crew or what have you and say we're going to leave it all on the field or what have you. I do like that aspect out of Dak Prescott, but I want to see it a little bit more. Maybe, just maybe, since Amari Cooper is gone, maybe he will get into the face of the Lamb. Maybe he will get in the face of Jalen Tolbert and James Washington. We'll find out, though.
Behold the Lamb.
Now be the Lamb.
Excuse my tardiness, guys. Let me jump in here real quick, man. Thank y'all so much, and I'm sorry I'm late. Hey, can I ask a question to you guys really quick? Because I've heard you guys kind of on the way. Are the elite and the great quarterbacks, would you agree that they're kind of mean? They're just a little mean. They're not really just all nice guys. They're mean. They have a jerk element to them. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
I'm really thinking
especially psycho Tom Brady. That joker, psycho boy.
Yeah, I would say the type guys are ones that are jerks.
Peyton Manning. I seen him. I got a clip on my TikTok that Peyton Manning got all into Jeff Saturday. Is Jeff Saturday a gold jacket guy? Yeah.
I saw that clip too where he got into him when he was saying we need to run the ball. He was saying we need to run the ball. Yeah. Boy, Peyton checked him.
What you alluding at though, DOC?
I'm not alluding.
Nice guys finish last.
What are you saying, Todd?
No, I'm not saying that. I don't think nice guys.
What are you trying to say?
I don't think nice guys finish last. I think nice guys finish after the people that were the most aggressive. That's what I think.
Oh, now I agree.
So that's what I think. And I think that there has to be an element of understanding. See, when you have two brothers in a home, okay, and I got two sons, by the way, they're always fighting. They're fighting. And I know a lot of the root of why they're fighting, okay, because it's an alpha thing. They're trying to establish who's really the leader. And none of them are giving up. They're trying to establish, okay, no, I'm the leader. I'm the man. I'm the man. When we get 16, 17, 18, no, I'm the man. There's always a leader. There's always a leader. And so what I'm saying is that in this organization, for the team to go forward in the way that it really needs to, we need somebody offensively, preferably the quarterback. I would challenge Dak on that. Be the unequivocal leader. Be the unequivocal guy. Be that dude. Take it on your shoulders and be that dude. And that's how we're going to win. That's how we're going to succeed. That's how we're going to get the furthest in the playoffs and be a strong unit as a team. That's my thought about that.
Check this out. I got to take this real quick for everybody.
Take it. Yeah.
Check this question out. That's for everybody. Is
Dak
too nice?
Yep.
You say
can I now hold up. Can I say this?
Yeah.
Can I say this, boss?
I'm listening.
All right.
I'm listening.
All right. Now you remember when I mentioned Jason Garrett? Remember the show 2 years ago, right?
Right.
When they were trying to show Jason Garrett as a tough guy.
Yeah.
And him cussing and doing all the cussing. Jason Garrett is tough because he cussing all the time. You see him say 17 F words to them, he's cussing.
To the practice squad. That was the practice squad.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying, now y'all know I love Dak as a leader, all that. But I feel like when they were doing that HBO thing, they were just focused on F this and F that. Like, I don't know if that's trying to give off that I don't give a hell guy. We gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't need you to be F-bombing. I just need you to go over there and tell them, hey, shut the hell up and get on, run that play. I don't need to hear that. Get on the ball, run the play. I don't care. I told you run that route and you didn't run it. Run it. That's what I want to hear. And I feel like that, I don't know, because maybe I don't see it all the time. But that's what I feel like I miss because I don't see that. And I feel like it's like, come on, guys, let's go. No, I don't want to hear, come on, guys, let's go. I want to hear, hey, man, do that shit right. Or you're not going to be playing on this next time. Get somebody else in here, man. Get out. I want to see that. Some of that. Sometimes.
But you know what? To echo your sentiment on that, the worst feeling is someone who got a job or a position and they live like, hey, I gotta fight through it until I get my 90-day. You ever been on a job like that? Like, man, I gotta go through my 90-day. What do they call that? That 90-day time frame
probation,
when you first get your job?
Probation,
right? I think that in my mind, and this is no shade or knock at Dak, but how the fan base and how the outside pressure and how everything is around him, he gotta go through his whole career under that probation role. I recall in the playoffs, I love to listen back to some of the quarterbacks of what the world they was thinking. And there was a drive that Pat Mahomes had versus the Cincinnati. He ultimately changed the play that Andy Reid called in right before halftime. You guys remember, if you guys watched that game, the Chiefs were heading into, they was in scoring position. And all they had to do was kick a field goal. But Pat Mahomes, he said, no, I'm going to go for it. And he went for it, and they ultimately didn't get it. But they swing the momentum in favor of the Cincinnati team, because then they looked at that team and said, hey, we held them down. They didn't get no points. And then the rest was history. The momentum, the passion, everything left Pat Mahomes. He became a shell of himself. And I'm not saying that Dak Prescott and Pat Mahomes is the same person, but I come here to tell y'all, Pat Mahomes turned into a turtle in that game, and he didn't do nothing in the second half. But he at least had the cojones to say, hey, I'm going for it. This is win, lose, or draw time, or win, lose, or die time. I'm trying to get it out. When have Dak Prescott had the audacity? Can you guys let me know?
Well, let me jump in here real quick, because there's different leadership styles, and I will say this, and I see you, Big Sarge, in the comment. Big Sarge is getting on me. So look, you can win different ways, okay? You can win with different leadership styles, right? But the best leaders have an adaptable leadership style, okay? And I consult with companies, and I actually teach leadership. So look, you have an adaptable leadership style. And what I'm saying is this. So I'll give you a perfect example, okay? And you guys will attest to this because you guys know Boss Cowboy. I'm going to use Boss Cowboy as a prime suspect, prime example, okay? He gets on the last video he did, breaking down the linebacker that we got, the rookie linebacker, and he says, man, I just love a physical player. He just ran in there, he ran over the fullback on the play, just blew him up. He didn't even make the tackle. He just blew the dude up.
Blew him up.
And Boss was like, I just love a physical player.
Yep.
You know why, guys? Because dogs respect dogs.
That's right.
Dogs respect dogs. I'll take you guys back. When Jerry Jones came with Tony Romo on his contract, and they brought him in that little secret room and tried to get him to sign off on a lesser deal, and he refused.
He refused.
They said, man, he got guts, he got balls, and they respected that. So what I'm saying is this: in this environment, you have to have an adaptable leadership style. And I'm saying it's going to benefit the respect of the front office to Dak and to everything that's going on, to take the bull by the horns, literally, and to say, hey, man, it's no questions. This is my team. No, I'm changing that play. I hate this offensive set. Why don't we bring Zeke in the game? Why don't we put Pollard in the flat to have some more fortitude as it relates to the direction of how things really go. And that will be respected in this environment. That's what I think.
Let me ask you this. Could Tony Romo say that to T.O.?
I'm sorry?
He could have.
No. Could Tony Romo say that to T.O.?
Here's the thing.
He could have, but it would have been a problem.
He could have. But it may have been a problem, but deep down inside, I would have to say T.O. would have to respect him more if he actually did come at him.
I definitely agree.
Now, I want to say this. I agree, totally agree with OC said, but I want Dak, the way he was bullish on this last contract negotiation, where he wasn't taking no, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, you're going to do this, and you're going to do that, the way he was bullish in the contract negotiations.
I like that.
He bullish like that on the field.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta jump in, man, because y'all hogging, man. Y'all hogging today, man. Y'all ain't sharing today. Y'all
we some dogs. We some dogs over here, man.
Some dogs. And listen, hold on, y'all. Listen, I ain't CD Lamb either. Ain't no bait up in here, bro.
Hey, where mine's at?
Y'all gonna pull out Thanos boss.
You said you was gonna create me one. Where mine's at? You said you was gonna create me one.
No, man, I'm an alpha today. It's only one today, dog. It's only one today, big dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, all right. Let me jump back up in here, man. This shit. Listen, because you know, Thanos boss. You know what I'm saying? You know, because y'all remember CeeDee Lamb asked in the Minnesota game, hey, Amari, you want the game winning? But I ain't asking nothing. All right, let's go.
Right.
Check this out.
You feel me? Boss, you ain't have to do that.
You know what I mean? I'm feeling froggy today, dog. I'm feeling froggy.
Yoga player.
You had to do that.
Yoga claim.
You had to bring that out. You said, can I get it?
Feeling froggy today, big dog.
And what did the alpha tell him? What did the alpha tell him, boss? No.
Really adopted the dark.
What did the alpha tell him?
I was born in it.
No. He said no, grasshopper.
No, you ain't getting this. I'm
Right.
the dog.
So who's going?
Boss?
Hey, but I gotta take back over, see, because y'all
who's gonna
testing
tell
me.
him no?
Y'all not gonna
Hey,
let
boss.
me finish what I'm saying.
Boss,
Y'all
who's gonna tell him no now?
Who's
gonna tell him no now?
Hey, y'all gonna
Let me
make.
know.
Hey,
Who's gonna tell him no now? Who's gonna tell him no
hold on,
now?
Law. I got something. I know how to shut up, Law, real quick. Watch this. Yeah, stop, Law. All right, that's enough, Law. It's enough. It's my time up here. Law trying to take over my segment. I ain't letting it happen, big dog. All right, let's go. And he got the buttons. He got some secret weapons. I got some new buttons over here. No, I ain't gonna push them buttons. All right, here we go. I want to ask this question though. Pastor Douglas with the Big Top Show. He said he leans more toward a company QB rather than a doggish QB.
Okay.
Ooh. So I want to talk about that though, because is it bad? Because this one thing about Dak. Dak is trained in leadership.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the OC is a consultant. And he teaches on leadership from especially and was disciple under a leadership that I also was disciple under called John Maxwell. We strongly believe in that, right? Like we strongly believe in his principles in leadership. It aggressively works. So when you have a company QB, you talking about somebody who was trained on a master's degree level on how to lead an organization. His master's degree was in organizational leadership.
Right.
Does that translate to men?
Well, let me ask you this though.
I think it does.
No.
I think it does.
But it's two ways.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. Then I'm gonna be quiet.
Tell us why.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because he spoke about it before. He spoke about his ability to adapt his leadership style to the OC's point, because he was raised around white people from his white side with his mom and the black side with his dad. And he said he adapts and he changes based on who he's dealing with. That's why when he was going against Dez as a rookie, he snatched him up. Do y'all remember in the Browns game when Dez was having a tantrum on the sideline? Who was the dude who actually snatched him? It was a rookie. But that's how you have to be with an alpha like Dez. But with a Cooper, he go talk to him. He go have dinner with him. I think our quarterback is trained to do whatever it takes, just to be honest. That's my honest to God opinion. I'm done.
So he can listen to George Strait and also the Yin Yang.
No, see, I mean, I agree with that because I mean, as a coach, I mean, y'all, I'm sure y'all have coached as well. As a coach, you do that. I mean, you can't yell at every single player. Certain players you look at and you can like, hey, I can yell at him because he can take this, he can eat this. This is what he feeds off of. I yell at this kid, he's going to go in a shell. He's going to be done the rest of the game, and he's not going to be able to compete. So I can't do that with him. So I understand that about Dak, but I think the kids is cooking, so don't worry about that. So I apologize. But my thing is, I even though he's adaptable, boss, and I believe that, I still need to feel that. Shut the hell up! I'm doing this my way. I feel like I need to hear that, because if this is your squad, then tell them to shut up. This is my stuff. I'm doing it my way, because why not? What you got to lose, right? You feel me? Like, that's what we loved about Aikman and them. Like he knew when to do it, but like I said, like in these games, like in them Niners games, I need to see him go over to the bench. Like, what the hell is going on, man? Are y'all gonna freaking block? Y'all remember that one game where they keep playing into class where Troy Aikman goes to the sideline and said, "Man, what the hell is this? Y'all act like some freaking JV stuff over here, man. I ain't gonna keep on doing that, freaking doing every play." That's what I need to hear in that San Francisco game when Tyron Smith and you guys was getting your butts kicked. You go over to that sideline now. Come on, guys, let's go. No, hey, man, you better start blocking, dog.
But what pulled that out of him? He didn't have to do that. Troy didn't have to do that when you had Jimmy on the sideline. He had to do it when you had
the playmaker.
I'm sorry, Law. I'm sorry, Law.
And Nate Newton. He had a lot of leaders.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, Law. I'm gonna say one thing that's really important. Right. Look, Eric Williams. There was a game, in the late '90s where Eric Williams missed a block and Troy Aikman got hit. He got up on the field and cussed out Eric Williams.
I remember that.
I remember that one. I'm talking about tirade.
You can see it on there. He went crazy, OC.
But let me ask you this, though. Let me ask you this. We all know that Tony Dungy is a hell of a coach.
Right.
And he don't open his mouth. He give you a stern stare. He would stare at you.
I'm with you.
And it would take your soul away from you.
Because some people think
there's two different types of
some people think leadership is
when did you hear Tony Dungy
think leadership is Chris Rashad? Chris Rashad is not necessarily leadership, y'all.
You're not getting away with that one.
Parcells was spent in two different types of temperament. But break it down there, Big Game.
Let me jump in here real quick. Let me jump in here real quick. Again, there are different styles of leadership, right? Tony Dungy's style of leadership was effective in his environment. But remember, there's a difference in leadership, the head coach and the quarterback. Those are different levels, okay? So you're not comparing apples with apples all the way, right? Because we're talking about a franchise-type quarterback, right? And quarterback has to have a gear. However you want to transliterate it, however you want to say he should say this or that, the best quarterbacks have a gear that this is mine, I'm taking it over. Y'all shut up. So however you want to translate that, you can translate it. But all the major quarterbacks, the top guys, the championship level guys, and I'm not saying nothing against Dak. I think that Dak's training and leadership allows him to function within organizations very, very fluidly, have great relationships, and ultimately come out on top, right? But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about crunch time, when nobody knows what to do, when we got to make a play, when we got to win a game.
Tell him, OC.
That's different. You see what I'm saying?
That is different.
So, I want to bring up something just real quick, then I'm done. That Coach Marv brought. I love Coach Marv. Coach Marv hit us with a fire question. This is super chat, but I want to get to y'all.
We got a lot of super chats I got to catch up to.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do this one. He says, question: all these great leadership quarterbacks, the Bradys and the like, before they led, they were taught by great leader coaches. Dak coaches were Kellen, Garrett, and McCarthy.
Big point. That's a good point.
Y'all got some super chats over there because I want to fly through these real quick. Cause
none for me over here. Go ahead.
Okay, so real quick, and I'm going to fly through these super chats. So Coach Marv, he loaded up over here. He said, Dez didn't play with a wide receiver like Cooper. Where he had to share. Do y'all remember training camp last year when he was the number one?
I think Roy Williams tried to haze Dez.
Yeah, he tried that mess. It didn't work.
Yeah.
So
was Miles Austin still there? Austin was still there.
Miles Austin also was still there.
Miles was with Kardashian.
He did. Yeah, he Kardashian. To your point. Yeah. So basically, he did have to share. And then we got a super chat from B. Bird. He said it's more like Dez, T. Will, Irvin, or Harper. I guess he was talking about CeeDee Lamb. And then real quick, Coach Marv said, did Lamb have that energy in last year's training camp?
Oh yes, he did. It was him and Diggs every day. I love that one.
And he did have that energy. With that, he's saying basically, why we doubting him now? That's what he's saying with that. That's basically what he's saying.
No, because
this is what kicked off from Bobby Bell.
No. Yeah. This is why I'm gonna jump in here though. Because I feel like I understand where Coach Marv is coming from, but I feel like what does this say? Like it doesn't matter if you're great, year in and year out. You think Kobe Bryant? I mean, like year in and year out, you still got to prove yourself. Year in and year out, you got to still take it to another level. So yes, that energy was there last year, but it's got to be a higher energy this year, and especially when people in the building are doubting you. People in your own building are doubting you. So yes, we got to see it because he was still, I don't care. Amari Cooper did cover CeeDee Lamb on a lot of things because that's how good Amari Cooper was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the game changer. He was a real
game changer. I mean, I admit it. He was a game changer. I admit it. He was a game changer.
Okay, we appreciate you. We'll take a late victory with that one. You know,
we'll take another one. We'll just get
I gave up the flag. There it is.
Oh, he did.
There it is.
You did. Hey, we ain't gonna keep beating that drum. But check this out.
Yeah.
Our last Super Chat.
Because y'all beat the hell out of it.
No, we didn't, dog. No, we didn't.
Yes, you did,
no,
boss.
We didn't, dog. We didn't gloat over
that,
bro.
You beat the hell out of it.
No, we didn't. You see, when you say beat the hell, you talking about 3 times, dog. Y'all deserved it. Hell yeah, y'all deserved it. No, y'all deserved it. Y'all fought us all year over that. All year. Y'all fought us all the way to week 12.
We was winning in the beginning of the year, though.
All right, so I got saved by the boat and I said, Dak is going into year 7 where he can finally fully healthy take over like Romo in year 7. Plus, all dogs has a coach to allow to be dogs. I agree. So
I agree too.
Now, Law, you had some interesting stuff on your Twitter, dog. I don't mean to just abruptly change the subject, but I obviously meant to do that.
Okay.
About the Cowboys should not, with a capital NOT, bench Ezekiel Elliott for Tony Pollard. Man, what you trying to start?
Yeah. Because, man, this is the thing, man.
God.
I absolutely love Tony Pollard's skill set and ability. But I think that it will benefit both players with Tony Pollard and Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard, not as an isolated situation. I don't think that Ezekiel Elliott should get only all of the carries. The magical sweet number for me is 25. I don't care how they get it. Give those guys 25 attempts. Let's get back to power football, Big 12. Let's get this thing going. So the notion is that, hey, if you insert Tony Pollard, everything will be okay. Well, I come here to tell y'all that in that Denver's game, Zeke got banged up real bad, had to stay out a few series. It was Tony. It was Tony in there. What happened? You got to look at the bigger picture. And I remember Big Game James, I know you know, in the OC and Boss. You remember when Cowboy fans were banging on the table? Troy Hambrick. Let's get Troy Hambrick out there. He looked more explosive than Hambrick. I said, man, Troy did look good.
He got murdered. He got murdered that game he started. You remember when he started? He got murdered. He got murdered.
But I get it, man. I'm not saying that Tony Pollard is Troy Hambrick, by the way. But I look at Tony Pollard as an explosive weapon. He is the most explosive player on this team, on the offensive side. There's nobody more explosive than Tony Pollard on this team. Give the ball to both guys. That's all I'm saying.
Ooh, look at what Zeke.
Look at Zeke back.
Ooh,
hey, man,
Zeke
just keep on doing it the way you've been doing it. Like, why would they? Why would they?
They get me so crunk. Y'all better stop hating on this dude.
Yeah.
You big dummies. You dummies.
Hicks going crazy.
Ooh,
but
man,
you know what?
Zeke, do it.
The thing is, though, when we look at Pollard and Zeke, I mean, it should be obvious. Zeke is 225 pounds, dog. He's still your bruiser. You don't start with an explosive back and then come with the you beat up that team. You body bruise that team. You destroy it all up. And then when it's all tired and beat all up, you throw that explosive guy in, and he takes it to the house, and then you run out off the field with victory. You feel me? I don't know why they think they should ever change that. Tony Pollard is not a 20-carry guy. I don't care what they say in any world of football. He ain't going to get 20 carries nowhere in the NFL with no team. He ain't going to be that guy.
Yeah. He is explosive. Tony is explosive.
But use him what he's explosive for.
So was Joseph Randall. But I ain't saying that Tony is Joseph Randall, though, by the way. I'm not putting him in that world.
No, but you right on that. Because, see, this is the point. I did a trivia the other day, dog. I asked everybody on Boss Cowboy Sports. We had over 120 people in the building that day. I asked everybody in the building. I said, who was a better running back, Murray or Randall? Everybody that voted, it was about 40 people that voted out the 120. Only one said Randall. If you look at the average of Randall's average in that 2014 season, which was Murray's best year, was 8.9. No, it wasn't 8.9. It was 6. It was 6.9. It was bigger than Murray's though, 4.7. Murray's was 4.7. So what's my point? No. When I'm hearing that these people that's trying to say start Pollard over Zeke, they saying because of the average. And they saying the average is what makes him better. They leaving out situations. They leaving out the guy that's the closeout back, and they leaving out the guy that's the first down back, which is usually your running downs. Where your defense also knows your running down, so they also gonna likely gear up for the run. So making decisions on who starts based on averages is crazy. Just being honest, you know. And Big to me said it best. Is really how do you use your change of direction? I mean, your change of direction back, right? Do you start with them? No, you pound the defense first. You wear down the defense, then you run the legs out. That's ideally how we all know it's done. Am I tripping?
Steelers. Yep.
No, you're not tripping at all.
What did Fast Willie Parker do after Jerome Bettis left? What did Fast Willie Parker?
But here's the thing. Even when you say Fast Willie Parker, did Willie Parker push the pile? No. Does he always fall forward? No. So does Tony Pollard push the pile? No. Does he fall forward? No. Zeke does that, and I'll never forget, like a few years ago, remember Landon Collins? And Landon Collins, he ain't no weakie, he ain't no softy, he will hit you. And I remember him saying, like, look, I ain't scared of nobody, and I ain't saying I'm scared to tackle Zeke, but when he come through that hole, I think. So what does that tell you right there? He says when he comes through the hole, I think. So I'd rather have a player that's saying I think about it when this guy comes in the hole, and rather than somebody saying, oh, he fast, all we got to do is hit him in his leg, he done.
Exactly.
And put some Tony Pollard in some slots. Stop talking about him playing receiver. OC, Law, and Boss. He played it at Memphis. That's what he did. Well, can we get some kind of little bit of him moving around, catching some ball? If we're talking about, I'm not saying use him as a full-time guy, but if we're trying to get a little bit more creative in this offense, the dude is a pass catcher. He has good size. We're talking about he's one of the most explosive players on the offense. We got to get him the ball, man. And it ain't got to just be running, dog. We got to get him the ball this year so this guy offense can really take off, because I love Zeke the way he's at, but if we can really utilize Tony Pollard to what his full assets are, I feel like this offense can really get juicy, man.
Ooh, real quick. OC. I got some film on Tony Pollard from Memphis. I want to go through it with you, at least a little bit of it. And then obviously because we gearing up to do a whole breakdown of him, because I keep hearing cases of him at the slot. Actually, I don't think that's ideal. I think it's more so ideal to use him in a two-back system. If
20, 21, 22.
Yeah, and I'm gonna show you, because that's actually what that's actually more so what I saw Ole Miss doing, right? To use Drummond, right? And I was watching them do this with Pollard. So I'm gonna turn on the film, let you break it down. But I was seeing more flare screens, occasionally the slot, but more so it was him out the backfield that was catching, and it was using like the run. I'm gonna play it and then let you kind of.
The OC.
The film breakdown.
It's Memphis tape.
All right.
K
versus the Cougs.
So we got trips right, and we got two backs, split backs. So we got a fake, and we got a wheel route.
Yep.
All right. So we got a fake to hold the linebacker, and we got a wheel. So now, man, we got trips, and we got them lined up, stacked behind trips. All right, like a T, and here he is. This is like a screen, so it's a zero screen with trips, so that's fine. Yeah, they're just trying to get him out of space. So this is, again, split backs once again, and this is probably, okay, they're going to motion him over. Oh, yeah. They're going to use the runoff, right, to block him. So this is almost another screen, and then he just turns on the Jets.
It's the same Tony we seen in the New Orleans game. Go ahead.
Exactly.
Yeah, now it's a problem, right? So now they line him up in the slot, right?
They go flare
off the ball,
flare route,
and then again flare him, and then get a blocker for him, which is different variations of screens, letting them use the speed and let them get out in space. So this is good. So now they got him stacked. So this is a stack look. He's stacked behind the wide receiver. He's out. This is more, again, another screen. So it's just different variations of the screen. Either he turns on the Jets, he uses the speed, and now he's in a slot once again. And then these guys are playing off, so he got tons of space, by the way. So
that's what I want.
Yeah, he's running a one route, right? He's running a quick out route. He catches the ball, and they're there to covering, all right? So this is good. So this is a stack again, all right? So here he is again, and it's going to be some type of screen, some type of flare. Here he is. He's stuttering. Yeah, some type of quick little screen right out there up the sideline, okay? And, yeah, got the speed. He turns on the jet. So, you see the consistent theme here of them getting him out in space. Yep. And notice how most of the time he's lined up to the wide side of the field. That's on purpose. There he is again, and I don't even know. That's just kind of like a flare out. They just throwing the ball to him because the quarterback is fake and he didn't have another way to go with it. But again, the onus is getting him on space. Now, me personally, I think that Kellen Moore is a little bit more creative than what we saw right here. To give Kellen Moore credit, so I think Kellen Moore could do some more things with getting him up the field and getting him versus linebackers in third and fourth cornerbacks. That will be even more advantageous. That's what I think.
If it's a playoff game, why in the hell he only had 4 touches?
I don't know, Law.
And he's the most explosive guy.
In the Arizona game, when we needed him as well, he had like a couple touches in that game, and he basically was non-existent. The problem with me is this, OC. I just want to kind of ask you about this. Y'all remember when we had Kellen Moore and he was doing all that motioning? Remember, I don't know if it was
year one.
Yeah, year one motioning. We was motioning left and right, going in motion, flare route, like it was going crazy. It was tricky. And then it went right back to Scott Linehan-ish. It was like he was only doing it, in my opinion, to make people like, oh, look, how come we ain't doing motion like all these other teams in NFL? And it was like he did it for a little bit, and I don't really want to do it. I want to go back to my style. OC, are we going to see any more of that this year? Is he really going to put a Tony Pollard in the flare? I mean, in the flare routes, is he really going to do that, in your opinion, this year?
No, I don't think he is. I think that the best thing that we'll see is Tony Pollard in the screen game and see him running more power tosses, right? With pulling tackles and crackbacks, right? I think that's what you're going to see. Now, if he gets his whistle wet and watches some tape, and I hope Kellen is watching this, a lot of tape, and just scheming, right? That's what I hope Kellen is doing, right? And if he's being creative, you will see him do that. But if he's, I hate to say it, if he's stagnant in his creativity, then you're going to see standard pro quo stuff, man. That's what you're going to see.
Yeah, and I want to say something on the tape. Obviously, when he was playing in the slot, he only had one route downfield the whole game. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Every time he was in the slot, it was either a screen, he was running a flare. It was all about space. It was all about space. And to me, that's ideally how to use Pollard and have Zeke on the field at the same time. Because if you watch this tape, they had Henderson and Pollard out there together. Y'all remember Henderson ran that 4-3, went to the Rams. You know what I mean? That's Henderson out there with him. And you will see Gibson. So
boy.
Yeah, so you saw all of that. Now, OC, I want to run this by you because I agree with you in your Memphis analysis that they wasn't even as creative as what they could be, right, in terms of getting him the ball. It was very one-dimensional. It was also very stupid because when I broke down the Memphis versus U of H tape, what they actually did is they used Pollard only in the passing game in the first half, and then in the second half, it was all run. It wasn't even a mix.
Go back to that last
Right.
clip. Bro.
I swear to God. You said go back to that last clip.
And for everybody, I gotta tell
clip.
them. I gotta tell them before you show that last clip. And Tony runs a 4.52. So for those who say 4.5 is slow, law 4.5, you see it. Go ahead.
You see it. What play you talking about?
Yeah.
OC?
So
That
yeah.
one?
So if okay, the one right after this one. Okay. So go ahead. Let that one run. It's one more, I believe. One more, I believe, right after. Okay, stop. Pause it if you can.
Okay.
Okay, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Leave it.
I'll go
Leave
back.
it. Leave it.
I'll
Leave
go
it.
back.
No. Leave it. Leave it. Let it run. Let it run. Let it run and go to the next one.
Stubborn.
All right. So look, another thing that you can do right here is how they just have him being wide out of the backfield. You need to bring Tony closer to the line of scrimmage. You can sneak Tony out, right?
Right. Ooh.
You can sneak Tony out. You see what I'm saying? You make it obvious who's getting the ball. You see what I'm saying? If you sneak Tony out, and so what happened with him when he had that touchdown on the screen, they snuck him out versus the Saints. It was the Saints game. They snuck him out. So if you sneak Tony out and he gets up on you going full speed, it's gonna be a problem. You see what I'm saying? If you got a chance to gauge him, right? And then you could try to break down, make tackles, even though he still juked the dude and ran for 40 yards, right? But if you sneak him out, use him in different short routes, not just a one route, you can use him with what I call a chair route, right? A chair route, you can have him run the out route and then make him break it up. It's an out and a go, right? And you'll hit him right up the seam every time because he'll outrun a lot of these guys. So it's other creative ways, man, that I think you should use them. You know what I mean? To really get him in space and really cause massive damage to that defense, man. That's my opinion.
You can
don't be scared of the reverse sweep.
That too. See, check this out. Memphis was getting Pollard the ball way too slow. To your point, OC, their play design was not as good as it seems. Like, yeah, they were scheming to get him the ball in the passing game, but it was sloppy. And I'm gonna show you a delayed leak out, which what you're talking about, where you can see by design it was badly executed. I think. So
pause that right there. Pause that right there. Dang, that's the play I want to see. Run that back real quick. I'm gonna show y'all something, and let it run to a certain point. Then I'm gonna tell you to pause it. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, pause it. Okay, notice the guy that's standing on the 20 at the top of the screen. Okay, they should have used Pollard as that running back. They should have had Pollard leak out. That guy started on the right-hand side next to the quarterback. He leaked out to the left. Look, it's a blocker in front that way, right? That's how they should use it. That's what I mean when I say leak him out.
Yep. And see,
that's what I mean.
We need to do a film breakdown on that. Because, see, I'm going to tell you who was perfect at leak out designs, and I can tell you the game. You can go look at it. Pittsburgh 2016. Go watch how they use Bell on design leak outs. They did it 4 times versus Dallas, and they got first downs every time because they was putting them in space, and they was leaking them out by design and getting that ball to them. Bro, they can use Pollard like that now. What I wanted to... Go ahead, Law.
Hey, I was going to say, and I know this is off subject or topic. Did the OC break down Drummond or that was just you?
I broke down Drummond, but I was going to show Drummond and
with
how
OC.
The Ole Miss plays was, to me, ideal for Pollard as well. And I was going to run this by you, OC. You ready? I got the Drummond breakdown. I hear it is.
Oh, buddy. Yeah, I love requests, baby. Let's go with it.
Let's go. So this is another way they can use Pollard. I said they should, and see, they way more creative on how they got him the ball, and they got it to him in short.
Boom.
Yeah, they got it to him quicker, right?
Yeah, and if you run that play back, and I'm sorry to keep making you run it back.
No, you good, bro. That's what we do. Let's go.
So look, so this is called a motion, a reverse motion, basically. So he reverses around the quarterback, right? And then look, when they give Bink, he has the corner. That's a great design. They give him the corner.
Yeah.
They give him the corner. So now, if you give Pollard that space, that might be a touchdown. If you give him that much space, that might be a touch.
Yeah.
That might be a touch.
But
now
here's my question to you guys.
Here's
my question to you, OC. Why you show?
Let me pause it.
Here's the problem, OC. I agree with what you're saying, but the problem is, like, we were doing those screens, right? If we looked at the season, we were getting mad that why we keep doing the screens? He had the wrong person. He was doing it with CeeDee Lamb. With Tony Pollard. Right there. He was doing the screen. And you had Amari Cooper. How about throwing some Noah Brown out there, who's a really good blocker as a receiver, and put a Tony Pollard and throw it quickly to Pollard, and you got a good blocking receiver? Like, why don't you do those type of things and get that guy? Because he kept on trying to throw it to CeeDee Lamb on those bubble screens, and he doesn't have the
Gallup.
When Tony Pollard gets it,
Gallup,
when Tony Pollard gets it, he has the I can't explain it, but he got what Michael Gallup don't.
He got more booty. Meaning he can actually really hurt somebody in the secondary. You see what I'm saying? When you sending Gallup Lamb out there, that ain't. I'm gonna show it to you. I got it right here, bro. I'm gonna show the power of using Tony Pollard the right way. But go ahead, keep talking while I pull it up.
Now, CD did take one, didn't he, against that New Orleans game? Was it, or was it the?
No, it wasn't.
The screen pass.
That was Pollard.
I thought CD had one too.
No, that was Pollard.
CD had one too, though.
The Pollard that went like 70 yards. That was.
Oh Pollard. No! He didn't have a 70-yarder. Y'all let me know what game that was. It's at the tip of my mind. But I know CD had one.
We probably just thinking.
But CD doesn't have, to me.
He don't have that burst like Pollard. No.
He doesn't have that quick burst like Pollard does, and that's where you got to get like that guy in space, and that's the guy that you got to hit on the bubble screens, in my opinion. Just like OC and Boss was saying.
Hey, I got you right here, Big. This is what you was talking about. This is what you was talking about, using him like where he's a weapon when you get him on the outside. Now watch this, bro. Watch after he hit that corner. Watch him shoot.
Oh!
Now watch him stumble. Now hold on. Did you see him stumble? Did you see him stumble, dog? He drunk.
No,
watch him stumble, bro.
He put that show here.
He drunk, dog. I know that feeling. You hear me?
Yeah, he feeling good. He felt good on that one, bro. Get some of that.
He drunk, dog. Watch him stumble.
He said, "Get some of that." Look at him. He looked at him too. He looked at him too. Like, get some of that.
If you get Pollard in space and can catch that, this was the design leak out that was late. OC,
right?
This was the design leak out that was late.
Yes.
See, this was a bad design by Kelly Moore. See, they got to get that ball to him faster. Watch.
Well, the issue is that you got him lined up,
lined up,
like
on the short side too. Look at short side.
But you got him lined up. Here's the deal: you got him exposed. You got him lined up like a tight end. You need to bring him from the backfield and make him split that tackle. That's how you leak him out. Make him split the tackle, and now he hide. Now you got a slow linebacker. Would you say, Boss Cowboy? You got an athlete on the stiff. Now you're gonna have an athlete on the stiff, right? Because now you got a linebacker trying to chase this guy.
Right.
He should have had that. He should have had that whole play on the field side, though. You know? But
Yep.
You see a wrong hash. Look, you got a little small
see this
side.
Kelly Moore designs.
Yeah, like why would you do that on that side of the short side though?
That's easy.
If anything, you got Dalton Schultz. You got Dalton Schultz. You should have flipped that. You feel me? Because Dalton Schultz was sitting there. He was. You should have flipped that right there because that would have been a mismatch.
Yeah, that wasn't a good design. That wasn't a good design.
It just wasn't good design. And listen, somebody said the other day, what you mean y'all need to copy off college? I'm like, no, man, you get good designs from college. Ain't no way you can look at Ole Miss use Drummond and don't have the same imagination that we could use Pollard the same way.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because they use Drummond right, dog. Look how fast they get on the ball.
Right.
Memphis was not getting Pollard the ball that fast. Go ahead.
To your point, boss, what was the new thing? They were trying to get all these guys from college, right? They were trying to get all these coordinators to come into the NFL. Remember, that was a little bit of the craze that they were trying to adapt the offenses like more college-style type offenses because they could get the playmakers the ball more.
Kingsbury, baby.
Yeah. So, OTAs, the media's gonna be there tomorrow. So, I want to ask y'all, like, this is a wide open question, but what's the competition that you excited to hear about from OTAs?
Wide receivers versus DBs.
Yep. I was gonna say the same thing.
My bad. I jumped the gun, huh?
No, it just makes sense. It just makes sense because that's with the shirts and
You ain't
symbols.
gonna really see nothing else.
You ain't gonna see nothing else, right? So
Nope.
I'm thinking,
Right.
yeah. So I'm excited to hear about the one-on-ones. I'm excited to hear about and see if CeeDee Lamb out there still one-handing balls and making big plays out there. That's what I'm interested in hearing, man. With these OTAs, man. What about you, Big?
This is for OC because I know me and him both like Connor McGovern, and they just trashed him and threw him by the wayside. When I made that point today about how it's critical for Philbin and this offensive line development with these picks, Connor McGovern's dad liked my tweet. That was real funny. I thought that was very funny that he liked that tweet in particular. Because I just feel like I know we're not going to see it in OTAs, but going forward, fellas, I mean that's big to me because Tyler Smith, they're pegging him as the left guard. We need to find who's the swing tackle. They're talking about Matt Waletzko possibly being there. He's a rookie. It's got to be a lot of things to figure out. So I think if we're talking about battles, going down the line. Those offensive line battles are going to be huge to me because it's a whole new kind of feel for the offensive line, in my opinion. Now, Tyler Biadasz has got to step up. He's got to take a hold and be that guy this third year. He's probably going to be gone. You got to figure out what's that left guard. You don't know what Tyron Smith. You know he's going to miss some games. Terrence Steele, he's going to be a full-time starter. It's different when they just throw you in there and there ain't that pressure. Now he's got pressure now. It was different before. Now this is going to hold different pressure for Terrence Steele. You feel what I'm saying? We got to see what's up with Farrakhan. You got to see what's up with Josh Ball. So it's a lot of unknown on that offensive line, fellas, and Philbin got to really turn up this year, or I feel like he should be out the door.
Yeah, man. I mean, the most interesting thing for me is to see how the guard play really works out, right? How is Farrakhan? How does Tyler Smith fit into this? How is Connor McGovern in the mix, right? I also want to see how does Zach Martin look? How does he look? Is he aging before our eyes? How does he look? So I'm more so interested to see how those guards look, man. That would be mine.
Man. Yeah. Oh, the camera's on me. So I saw some photos of Tyler Biadasz, and he don't look as doughy. He look like he's been in the weight room. So hopefully that will translate, and that will do some things for him out there on the field. If we looking at guard play, the front five is a unique vessel. All five guys must be on the same page, singing from the same hymnal. So whoever they go with, let it be an honest fight to the end, and don't play musical chairs. Hey, a double-minded person is wicked in all thy way. So look, just make sure with your five, those are your five guys. I don't want to hear this. Hey man, now all of a sudden I like Matt Waletzko or Josh Ball to start. No. Go with your five. That's all I'm saying.
He said double-minded man is unstable. Unstable in all ways. In all ways.
Preach aloud. So, yeah, man. So, obviously, man, y'all stay tuned to all these channels. Law Nation, Big Game James, Boss Cowboy Sports.
Great show today, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off, boss, but y'all
man,
did. Y'all brought the heat today. I just want to tell you that.
Oh, man, I always appreciate it, Big Dog. You too, obviously. And I really meant what I said, bro. Because, see, I know it's not easy to stand flat-footed against the crowd.
Right.
And when you wasn't drinking that Kool-Aid last week, you was against the crowd, Big. You know what I'm saying? The crowd really wanted you to sip. You know what I'm saying? They really wanted you to sip. So it's one of those things, dog, don't never change. Don't ever change. I know you ain't, but don't ever change. You know what I'm saying? So... But final words.
Moderate.
Yeah. But final words, man. Obviously, I'm excited about football getting going. Any types of football, any types of film, any types of research. I'm excited about it. I'm excited that our voices is growing, all of us together, to where we're influencing the nation. And I'm just excited about the future and what we go do as a unit, the final word, but also what we go do as a team with the Dallas Cowboys. That's my final word.
Yeah, and I'll get mine real quick, man. Look, I'm really excited about the culture, and I talked about this last year. We talked about it on the channel a lot, the culture of competition. So there's a culture of competition amongst this offensive line now. It's enough people there. Everybody has to compete. You got to compete to eat. We've added more defensive line depth. Now it's a culture of competition, especially on the interior of that defensive line. You got to show up and play. So very interested to see how Quentin Bohanna's go look, how Carlos Watkins comes back. I want to see these rookies in Ridgeway, how they do. And now we added some linebackers. So now we got competition at linebacker. So it's a spirit of competition in 3 key areas. And I want to see what happens and how this whole thing shakes out. So regardless, the competition is going to be good for the team because we're going to get the best players on the field. So I'm happy about that, and that's my final word.
Well, my final word is going to be this. It's basically going to be more about the show because, you know what, I'm not really drinking none of this Kool-Aid. I want to see, you know, the young rookies, all that good stuff. But to me, it's got to be a lot more than that. But I'm just really excited about what we're doing with the show, how it's grown. I really like how the platform has really been taken off. And I'm really just excited to see what we're going to do as the final word this year. I think we really bring a lot of good different sides of analysis. I really appreciate you guys, OC, Boss, and Law, how you guys are really intricate in how you guys do it on your channels. I be honest with you, you guys are really the only few guys I do peek in on and actually look to get some things to learn about. So I just really appreciate the final word and what you guys have meant, and I just hope we continue to grow and make this thing great, man, along with the Dallas Cowboys.
No doubt.
That's my final word.
It's good. It's good stuff. Oh, it's my turn, huh? You know.
Yeah, man.
No days off. No days off.
Days off.
No
days off. No. Yeah.
Y'all need to chat that with us, baby.
Yeah.
I don't like the final word at all. I love it. And this is the thing, Big Game James. You may not be drinking the Kool-Aid, but can you sip it? You know, just give a little taste, because you do think that 12-5 is the floor, right? You at least at minimum.
I'm sipping a little.
That's a little sip.
That's a sip. That's a sip. It's all right.
It's all right. So
put that joke in the refrigerator, don't let that joke chill.
Look, man. By the start of the season, because it just hit me. We was talking about yak and stuff, and there's a guy that runs a 4.4, right? And his name is Jalen Tolbert. And I was thinking, like some of those plays that y'all were showing. What about him? What about him out in space? You know, what about him? You know, maybe that's why they was hyping and bloviating Jalen Tolbert out there in the media, OTAs, views, and all of the beat writers or what have you. So Jalen Tolbert may be just that guy that makes Big Game James take a gulp of that good old Cowboys Kool-Aid. You know?
Ooh-wee. I got a lot this year, buddy.
Bro, don't you know? Because this is how you can get it. You was talking about Jalen Tolbert a long way before the draft was going. So, hey, you were right on that kid. So, hey, that's going to make you drink it. Let make him drink it. But overall, man, the spirit of the competition, we had 3 holes on this team majorly, and that was offensive line, wide receiver, and defensive front. And whether or not you're going to say a linebacker or the front 4 guys is on the front. And that's what I will be eyeballing at during this OTAs. It's saying how the offensive line gel together and the spirit of the competition with the wide receivers. Can big game guy Jalen Tolbert do that against Trayvon Diggs? You know, that's what I can't wait to see. And then on top of
we're
that,
gonna see that. Yeah.
If I see, I'm gonna go crazy. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Fence.
What's the the breaking news button?
Hey,
the breaking news button.
State Farm, man. Hey, we forgot about Jake from State Farm. He gonna turn up too. Jake from State Farm gonna turn up too.
Oh yeah, he is.
Ooh, we got important news.
Turn up this year.
We got important news from.
Play it. There it is, Law.
Live from Oxnard, Jalen Tolbert the most. Trayvon Diggs. Is Trayvon Diggs really elite? Because he got a rookie mousing him. More news at 6.
One boy Law hit the papers.
That's classic.
When he hit
That
the
is
papers.
classic.
Hit the papers, Law. Hit the papers. Where the papers at? Where the papers at?
We're reporting live in Oxnard. We've seen Jalen Tolbert catches 3
y'all
touchdowns
all know
in the
it's
end
real
zone.
when you hit them papers. Y'all all know it's real when you hit them papers. Like,
Boy,
it's
that boy
real.
hit the papers.
When you hit them papers, oh boy, it's about to be some news when you hit them papers.
Oh man, y'all got long messed up,
Hey,
dog. For
hey,
real.
if y'all don't like that,
You liar!
come on, let's go
Yoga
with it, baby.
fire.
Let's go.
Yoga flame.
All right,
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go.
all right, man. Y'all already know. Y'all already find the word.
One love, baby.
Let's go.
Get it, man. It's time to talk real football again. Let's go.
To all the haters.
When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud too.
Let's go.
Say that again, dog.
When you pray for rain, you got to deal with the mud. Oh, that Denzel, man. Run it, baby.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal.
Oh, my God.
Yoga fire. Yoga flame.
is your ally.
Kinda check the song. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Count that too, count it up.
You could not live with your own failure.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey, is that off Flash Gordon, that darkness in your eyes? That's off Flash Gordon.
Oh, Flash Gordon, I got you, bro. Hold on. So you Flash?
Is that off Flash Gordon?
Hold on. So you want to be Flash?
No. I'm asking, like, you remember the old Flash Gordon back in the day, like in the 80s?
Yeah.
Did you get that from Dr. Evil?
No, that's Bang. When Batman thought darkness was his ally.
There's a part that sounds just like that on Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Stop! Thief! Come back, thief!
The Vanilla Gorilla, baby.
I've been really
The Vanilla Gorilla, man. Where he at? Ah, there he is. Vanilla Gorilla.